Tell me what your life was like before you died.
I died when my baby died at the same time. That is the most memorable because the angels had told me that God was going to take my baby home to heaven on the birth, and the birth would come early. And I died that day because I went with my baby. You know, I went through what everyone calls that tunnel. I call it the spiral staircase because it goes like that. You know, just holding my baby in my arms and my soul, you know, it was like I was where I was meant to be, and it was just so full of light and love. And it always is, because it's lined with angels with that light in that way. And even at that time, watching other souls that were on the same journey as myself with my baby, I can only say there's such peace and calmness. You know, there's such love. There's no fear or no anxiety in any way. But then an angel stood in front of me, this beautiful angel. I always use the word sometimes Snow White, because it's not a white like our white that we have. It's a white that's whiter than snow, whiter than anything else, but it's full of light. It's full of life in that way. And this angel just stood in front of me and said, I can't go any further, that I shouldn't have come with my baby. I wasn't meant to, and that I had to go back. And I didn't want to go back, but yet I knew I would have to. And what would I say? I always just, it's like that love of this beautiful angel standing in front of me and looking at my little baby boy in my arms. And he's smiling at me, and his beautiful eyes. He was so perfect and so beautiful and so full of light. And God saying I had to go back. And at the same time, almost, because it's like as if, you know, time doesn't exist at all. And the angel putting out her hands, her arms to take my baby, and she taking my baby ever so gently, and then I having to go back. I suppose that is the one most memorable for me in that sense. I have had others when I was maybe between 12 and 14. I know good for time and age in that sense. When I was having my appendix out, the doctors told my parents, I haven't written about this one yet, but told my parents that I had died and that my heart stopped, and they had to struggle to get me back. It's like when they put me under, I was still very conscious of that. It was like when they started the surgery and they were almost finished, I just decided to leave. And let's say my guardian angel grabbed me here in that sense, not grab, but gently. And I turned around and looked at my guardian angel and just said, I'm going to check my parents. I'm going to see where my parents are. And my guardian angel said to me, they're not here. I remember just for that moment being a bit astonished, and I was in the theatre. I was in the room, and then I left. I just left, and I went with my guardian angel. I went to the most fantastic playground to play in. I went to heaven. I'm skipping loads of it because it would be too long, but I went to heaven, and there was this fantastic playground. It literally had everything in it that you could possibly think of, and millions more. One thing about the playground was, how would I say it? How can I describe this? It was like as if I was going through colors. If you can imagine that, colors, you know, all kinds of colors, and seeing to my left maybe a swing, and it was in among all of the colors, and then the swing would turn to a particular color itself, sometimes purple. The colors I loved mostly in that way, and heading over to it and sitting on the swing, and it was like as if I could go as high as I wanted, and the swing could swing around in that way. And at that time I didn't want to come back. It wasn't the usual way. The swing, it went right around, and it was like as if I was going around the world. My guardian angel took hold of my hand and said to me, Lorna, you will have to go back soon. Can you hear them calling you? Look over there. It was like look to my left, and I looked, and it was like I could see the theatre. I could see the doctors and the nurses. I could see what they were doing. I could see like panic in that sense. They had a child and the child's heart had stopped and they were working to get it going again. And I saying to my guardian angel, but can I not stay here? I'm happier here. And my guardian angel saying, no, you're going to have to come back. So let's go in that direction. My guardian angel wasn't very, oh, I'm pushing you back now. My guardian angel was very gentle in that way. And then just at one stage, again, my guardian angel said, it's really time now. It was like looking down the spiral staircase to the theatre in that way. And my guardian angel just said, we've got to get closer now. And I just said, but won't God let me stay? And then I just heard the voice of God saying, no, Lorna, you've got to go back. You've got to go home. And I said, I'm home. I always do that. So I came back, and then when I woke up, it was like I woke up in my bed. They had already brought me out of the theatre and I was in the bed and my mom was there. When I opened my eyes, she was there, and I remember just opening them, or barely opening them, and seeing her and closing them again. Each time I'm sent back and I have my full faculties, and I guess it's to give a message to the world as well, to tell people that you are loved, that you have a soul, that there's more to life. You know, life is incredible. No matter what you think, you're alive. So you're meant to be feeling the life. And you have this soul and this beautiful guardian angel that is helping you through life. Life is precious, and it is in the sense of, you know, I talk about the intertwining of the human body and the soul. That is part of evolution. It's another step we're all in search of. Everyone in the world, whether they say to you they believe or they don't believe, or they say to you when you die you just decay and that's it and there's nothing more. But yet behind it, I know that they're hoping that there is more in that way. And I have met so many people who would be, you know, they could be TV presenters, they could be a newscaster, and I was talking with them, and sometimes they might say, well, they don't believe at all, but then their boss told them, whoever was in charge, they were to be really negative in that way. And then they come running out after me when I leave and say, by the way, I believe everything. We want to believe, and I think it's very important for us to believe that we're not just a human being, we're a spiritual being as well. And for that intertwining, I just say it's like a flash of the body and soul coming together. We all want that to happen because we, in a sense, want to believe there is more to life, and there is. All as I can say to you, I'm severely dyslexic. I was considered retarded. I wasn't educated humanly, but I was educated by God and the angels. So I look on all, I don't understand human beings. That's I can't figure that out in that way. But yet I have been taught to love everything. And even the most horrible person you might believe in the world, I still love them. You know, one thing the angels used to say to me when I was a child, and that was, if someone said something hurtful and I, as a human child, was feeling a little hurt, they would just say to me, Lorna, they know no better. And it was only after time, how would I say, in them saying those words, taught me to love you no matter what, to reach out and give you a helping hand no matter what the rest of the world thinks of you. I still love you. And it's something very hard, but I believe that's my soul, because that's what your soul is that love. That's what makes you human. If your soul was taken away, you wouldn't be human. That compassion or that hope or that empathy within you. Well, I think the way God uses angels is incredible, because when I eventually managed to do Angels in My Hair on tape and then someone else typed out, one thing I would say to God, you know, I'd even say to God, what will I call you? because God has hundreds of names, depending on the religion you were in. And I knew I would get ridiculed over it. I even said, God, I'll get ridiculed over it. And God turned around to me and just said, Lorna, what do you call me? And I remember being so annoyed, asking me the stupid question, what do I call you? You know what I call you. And I turned and looked at God and I just said, God, of course. That's the way I said it, God, of course. And the one thing that God had said, that it was universal. If you use the word God, no matter what belief someone has, they know who you're talking about in that way. And I just love the way God used his angels with me to educate me in a different way, because angels in the world are considered, would you say, friendly most of the time. And they're more acceptable than God itself, than the Creator itself. So I love the way God had his angels teach me everything I know, only for I was reminded a million times, and still am today, not to say certain things. If I had said as a child that there was an angel beside my mum or my dad, I wouldn't be talking to you here today, because they already considered me retarded. I would have been put into an institution. But they kept reminding me, and they are very beautiful. They are this incredible light, and they always give this human appearance like us, a human appearance like us. It's so perfect in that sense. And one thing I love about them is that they are neither male nor female, so they can be one or the other, or both in that sense. But one thing I do love about the angels, and that is they can wear any clothing, and their clothing is always sometimes real casual like ours. They would often do that. But other times, wow, if I was a dress designer and could draw them out, we'd have all kinds of style. And their eyes they're gentle. I never have seen an angel get angry or anything like that, or complain or give out. They never do that. Your guardian angel loves you unconditionally. Doesn't matter what you do. It just won't give up on you whatsoever. And then, of course, the unemployed angels, when I started to talk about them, because the first time I saw them was when I was a child. Unemployed angels. I named them. I called them the unemployed. But as a child, the first time I saw them, I was told to look up towards the sky, and I just could see these. I didn't realize they were angels, but these, what would I call, like balls of light tumbling down, just tumbling down, and so bright. And then all of a sudden, just as they came to the earth, they opened up, they unfolded, and just this beautiful angel. And how would I say, I remember watching them as a child, but you could imagine an unemployed angel around you, and your thought has come into your head maybe to fix a plant, because I see you have a plant there, it needs some work done on it, and you reach in. Well, that's where you can ask an unemployed angel. They're already dying to give you a helping hand. And since I spoke about them, people all around the world have been sending them everywhere. And I just say, you don't just send them to people that are angels, you send them to everyone. Anyone that you think of is in need, and it doesn't matter what their faith is. So live life and enjoy it.